Don't the birds sound lovely? June is such a wonderful month. There's so much activity in the trees, in the garden. And there was a little bit of something for everybody this month, with heat indexes well above 100 degrees, torrential rains that would come and go, like great moisture for the garden, tomatoes nearly as tall as I am, beans that climbed that high too, but then got eaten. Some great successes, big failures, and lots of stuff to talk about. The tool of the month for May, the action hoe, still got a lot of use, particularly in early June, while most of the plants were getting established. We attempted to plant corn 3 separate times. Each was a failure, but each was an opportunity for my kids to help in the garden, which I was grateful for. If you only watch my gardening content, you might not know this, but I'm also a woodworker. I make a whole bunch of things, including, in this case, garden doodads. Well, the tool of the month for June is snippers, right? Pruning shears or clippers, whatever you want to call them. Any brand will do. Mine is an A.M. Leonard, and it's it's been so used and abused. Look at how horribly serrated those edges have become. But in the month of June, you're using these all the time, whether you're trimming up tomatoes to help them grow, cutting off suckers, or cutting flowers, or pruning the vines behind the camera, or the trees, and getting the optimal light to hit your plants. Having one of these on your side, be it in a tool belt, or in a pocket, or just on your bench, you gotta have them. There's explosive growth in the month of June and July coming up too. So carrying your snippers with you all the time is a smart thing to do. And if you need a new one and you're gonna buy one anyways, I'm sure I've got one pinned in the comment below. Won't cost you any extra, but this channel will get a kickback to buy more fun garden stuff. Anyways, tool of the month, snippers. I'm always trying to get my kids out in the garden, and it doesn't take much. They love to be involved. And it's great to get them started early, like that little radish. Or maybe it's a beet. I don't know. Either way, Arthur's pretty cute. He helped me put up this sunshine doodad that we got at a garden sale, too. Well, it's a beautiful but sad sunset as we come to the middle of the month of June. Here we are in what was supposed to be a bed full of corn, well this high by now. I planted it 3 separate times. The first time, I know it was a cold snap that killed it. The second time, I saw some marks in here. I thought squirrels were digging. So I put over this nice mesh. And this is the third time. It's been about 15 days and the weather has been perfect and the water has been perfect. Nothing but weeds. In fact, when I would see corn come up, it wouldn't last more than 24 hours. So I think this bed, the corn was suffering from slugs, my best guess. There were no more dig holes. I don't think squirrels were trotting on this and eating the corn as it came up. I think this was a small pest. But it's only one of my pest problems. This year I have rabbit problems. I had actually been controlling it manually with a deer and rabbit repellent. Stuff that smells horrible, but works wonderfully. I'm sure you've seen some footage of me spraying it on, usually after I water in the morning, and I let it go for probably 2 days and then spray it again, and it worked just fine. I was gone this weekend over Father's Day, and it rained, and I came back and half of the beans were eaten, and my kale was thoroughly chewed through. What else? One of my peppers was eaten. Some of the leaves on my Brussels sprouts were munched on. And I'm not just talking like cabbage wormholes. No, I'm talking all leaves coming off thanks to the bunnies. And while it's only one possible cause, there are no strawberries for me to harvest this year. The plants look good and they're growing, so it could be that they would flower and then put on tiny fruits that then just faded away so that all the plant can really put that energy into the roots. I'm hoping that's what's going on. But it could also be bunnies, maybe squirrels. I don't know. This bed seems pretty untouched, but I'm disappointed by that. I've also lost other seedlings. For many years, this entire garden was surrounded by a rabbit fence, a nice green, 2x3 rectangular fence. I had it all the way around the perimeter, and I still had the door on, and then even the fence it was nailed to and buried a couple inches under the ground. And it's not until now that I'm really realizing how good of a job that did at keeping out the bunnies. And they were probably the bigger problem, even bigger than squirrels and birds, which, I mean, they come in from the sky. What can you do except for put something over it? I'm still tinkering with what I want to do for the perimeter of this fence, whether the picket fence is going to go away or if I should repair it and put the door back on. I'm just torn. And also, since I rebuilt the fence at the end of 2022, I never put the rabbit fence up. So that would be something that I would need to do or consider as well. The other option, of course, is to install things for hoops to go over here. And there are lots of ways to do it, and that's kind of what I'm leaning for at this point. So I can keep the more open flow to the garden. I've come to like that. And I could individually segment each bed with some sort of a cover. But these are problems that I'm grappling with. We all get them from time to time. So I thought I would break with the format and just come in and tell you all about it. Aside from that, gardening is just lovely. So let's see what the rest of the month has for us, right? This is one of the attempts I was talking about. I had used netting to cover the corn. It just never came in. So I took the netting off and I did some weeding. Put up another trellis thinking beans would grow in. Didn't happen. We talk about it a little bit later in the video. Today I've got a shout out to a viewer and neighbor. His name's Ryan, and his 4-year-old son Isaiah. They came over and they helped in the garden while I was doing some traveling. They got to explore it. They took care of my puppy dog too, and they love watching, and Isaiah loves seeing the garden and watching things grow. So hey buddy, thanks for watching. Happy growing. We grow a lot of blackberries and they grow wild. And you know, those brambles, they are pretty flexible. So I thought I would try my hand at making a basket. It's the very first time I ever did it. And I'm in love with the hobby. It might become a thing. This time of year, I'm also using up anything that we had frozen from years prior. I made dozens of jars of jam. We give them away as gifts to people over the holidays and for birthdays, and it's just a wonderful thing to do. But it's important to do it on a cooler day because the kitchen can get pretty hot. Last month I mentioned that we were getting a new roof and gutters and balcony, and that work is completed. It feels so good, and we don't have to worry about leaks anywhere when it rains. A little thing goes a long way in making us feel secure and safe and happy. Gooseberries are good in jam for your belly. Yes, they are good in jam. On this final day of the month of June, I'm going to give you a full unabridged tour. In here there are plenty of strawberry plants. I haven't weeded in 2 weeks. Take a look at the health of the plants though. They're great. And by now they should start putting on runners. So this next week I will do all the weeding and the runners will have places to set down. My goodness, is it great to have a compost in the garden. Some of the giant zinnias are starting to bloom. We've used a ton of rhubarb, and now I need to do one big end of spring harvest and leave it alone until the fall. It is time to pick gooseberries and currants, and the raspberries are just starting to ripen. The same goes for the black raspberries. The beans are trying to come back. The rabbits ate them. But there were a few beanstalks that they missed, and they are well over 7 feet tall. I may rip out these beans and let this pumpkin plant go wild. I would also repot the marigolds. The peppers are nearly 2 feet tall. They are blooming. They will fruit nicely next month. And just look how well the cucumbers are climbing. The tomatillos are nearly as tall as I am. They're such a cool looking plant, and they make great salsa verde. I have more zucchini plants than one person needs. Fortunately, I use them and I give them away. We got stuff growing and no squash bugs yet. Yes! My Brussels sprouts don't look like much. There's no center shoot yet, and I'm a little curious why that hasn't happened. Snap pea harvest time is in full force. They are a favorite in our household. I tried so many different things in here. 3 rounds of corn that failed with different techniques. Then I put up the trellis thinking I'd grow beans again, and they came in and they started to get eaten. So I left the trellis in and I decided to forget it. I put a bunch of ground cherries, we'll see if they take, and one big pumpkin right in the middle to sprawl out over the next couple of months. And I often seem to forget on camera, but I have blackberries on both sides of the fence here too. And blackberry brambles are what I made that lovely basket from. Isn't this dappled light spectacular? I just love coming in the garden in the morning. And I'm already pretty late. It's near 7 o'clock. That's the month of June. You got to see it. Peppers are doing well. Tomatoes are doing well. All the zucchinis and the peas did well. The beans grew until they got consumed. And the corn, man, 3 strikes, you're out. We'll have to try something else in another year. I've talked about replacing these beds moving into 2026 and 2027, and as I'm closing out today, I have exciting news. I'm actually partnering with Vigo Gardens, so you'll hear more about that in the months of July and August and so forth, but we will be replacing these slowly but surely. Looking ahead to July, lots of berry picking, constant raspberry harvests, picking all the currants, picking all the gooseberries, doing that end of spring harvest of the rhubarb and just being done with them for a while. And then peppers will pick up, and tomatoes and tomatillos, and we can do some succession planting because these peas are going to be finished soon, and I'm going to plant a new round which will be done in a couple of months. So it's not too late come the beginning of July to still plant things fresh. Got to make sure I've got some pumpkin that's established too, because they take about 100 days to grow, and that'll be ready around Halloween time. So always something exciting in the garden. I hope yours is growing well too. Thanks for watching. Happy gardening. Take care, guys. Bye.